Yeah, hi there. These comments are for you're using the username yogurt at my Voxy Pop discussion group, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the TOEFL online course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL Ibt, and you're one of my students, obviously, and you posted a speaking practice test at my Voxy Pop discussion group. So, let's take a look at what you have to say. I'm going to go ahead and give you some comments, and I think maybe this could be your first one, right? Now, normally I don't give feedback this specific on all of your practice tests, but right now I'm not really busy. So when I'm not really busy, I like to spend a little bit extra time with my students. So here is your response for speaking practice test number 1. If I remember correctly, before I forget, okay, let's go back. Okay, here we go.
One of my favorite places that I visited when I was a child.
Okay, so the question is, describe a favorite place you visited as a child. Okay, let's see what you have to say.
One of my favorite places that I visited when I was a child, the Jordan. For many reasons. The first reason that I really like the food and the weather.
Okay, let's go back to that question for just a minute. Let's make sure we're on the same page here. So, okay, so there's really two parts to this question, right? So the first part is describe a place you visited as a child, and then what is your favorite memory while visiting this place? So it's not just saying why did you like visiting the place. That's not really the question. The question is, of course, to describe it and then explain a favorite memory you had while visiting the place.
One of my favorite places that I visited when I was a child.
I would say one of my favorite places with the ES there.
The Jordan. For many reasons.
Now, if you use Jordan, the problem with using a country is there's no way that you can describe that entire country. So you have to be a little more specific. You can't even describe a city. So you have to talk about something specific within a city and then describe that.
The first reason that I really like the food and the weather. I remember that the first day they had blizzard and a lot of the snow, and that was my first time I saw the snow. And another thing, I really like the kind of the cheese that they have. It was so delicious. And the second reason about the animal, I remember that we went with my family to the zoo, and I watched
there. Now once you get to that, this is important because it looks like you're getting into this second part of the question. You now want to say my favorite memory while visiting Jordan was when I went to the zoo with my family. Or you might say visiting the zoo with my family is my favorite memory. Then you can talk about that in a little bit more detail.
Many kinds of the animals that I never
Now you see you're already over 45 seconds right now.
seen before. For this reason, the Jordan is my favorite place that I visited when I was a child.
So for this reason, Jordan is your favorite place that you visited as a child. So if you go back though, you really kind of strayed from the question. It said describe a place and what is your favorite memory. It's not saying what is your favorite place that you visited as a child, right? So I think that you kind of misread the question. You didn't really exactly answer the first part of the question, and you could probably do a little bit better job with the favorite memory there. So your speaking topic or what you said didn't really directly address both parts of the speaking task. Alright, so let's take a look at your score here. So I think in the 2 range it says under the general description of the Ibt Rubrics, and I've kind of modified them so you can understand them a little bit easier. but it says your response is connected to the task, but you're missing important information. So I don't think you really described it. Describe gives a physical description, but because your topic was so broad, you weren't able to do that. So that's probably one of your biggest issues with your pronunciation. You have some problems with your pronunciation that make it a little bit difficult to understand. I think topic development, you mostly express basic ideas with limited details and support. So your topic was too broad, so you weren't able to really exactly answer that question here. Connection of ideas are unclear in parts of your response, so it isn't exactly clear how what you say connects to the speaking task. All right, so I'm going to put you right now at about 2.0 out of 4, or 15 points out of 30 on this particular practice test.